Hi. Today we'll be looking at this book, The Ministry of Utmost Happiness by author Arundhati Roy, someone who doesn't require any introduction. As you all know, the author was awarded the Booker Prize in the year 1997 for the work of fiction, The God of Small Things. So this is a second work of fiction after a 20-year hiatus. In these 20 years, she did publish several works of non-fiction, and two of them I did get a chance to read, Listening to Grasshoppers and The Algebra of Infinite Justice. And talking about this book was published in the year 2017. So coming after 20-year hiatus, this book has a lot to offer. So in crude terms, if you ask me, is the book good or great? Like, if you look at it, the book is extremely good, you know, and there are certain factors which make it great, and there are certain factors which it doesn't. So the factor is kind of one and the same, and to really appreciate, what exactly is being tried in the book or what exactly is being attempted in this work of fiction, we just go to the last chapter where I'd like to read a small snippet. You know, so it says, "How to tell a shattered story by slowly becoming everybody? No, by slowly becoming everything." So that kind of summarizes what the book is actually trying to do. There are times in which when you write fiction, authors can, try to attempt to impersonate different characters. You with reference to thrillers, if you look at it, the author might choose two to three characters, and with reference to each and every chapter, the author writes from a different perspective. Or in certain times, authors tend to go for a non-linear narrative where the story is sometimes told back forward, sometimes told backwards, so on and so forth. So if you look at this book especially, author uses a non-linear narrative. But as you clearly see from that small snippet which I was able to read, the word shattered. So the author tries to address so many issues in contemporary India, starting from Jammu and Kashmir, starting from cow vigilantism to the issue of transgender, to corruption, to powers hierarchy, to north-south divide, to Naxalism, so on and so forth. So if you look at the number of issues or the milieu which has to be handled, it's so vast. And for narrating and for taking up all these issues, she uses, when I use the word shattered perspective, there are so many characters which are present in the story, and all of them are getting impersonated, or as the author says, you tell the story by becoming everybody. All of them are becoming part of it. At the same time, the stories travels both forward and backward in different sets of time. So that provides the author or gives the author more freedom. And not just that, if you look at the grammar which is used, when I use the word grammar, I'm talking about the grammar or the setting. Usually, when you have the book being written for, let's say 400 or 4,000 pages for that matter, the author sets the tone in the first two parts, or at least the first part of the text, where you get to know, okay, this is exactly what I get to, what I try to expect from the author. This is what the book will actually be. But you see that the style of narrative itself begins to change in certain chapters. There is so much of experimentation which makes the book, entangled. It makes the book shattered, and so on and so forth. So that's what makes it a very, very interesting read. Now, if you think about it, when you adapt a very non-linear, a shattered type of writing where the story goes through so many, what do you call, meshes and so many hierarchies, there is also one problem. As a reader, at times, especially, maybe the second part, maybe in the middle of the narrative, you kind of felt difficult to really relate to, or there were questions which stopped, what exactly is happening, where exactly is the story going. But at the end of the book, you kind of get the complete arc, where you have a starting point and then you have the end. But the only point which I'm trying to stress is a shattered narrative could make the reader quite difficult to really follow up at times on what exactly is happening. But what makes this book, really stand out in the test of time is, like, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, if someone asks you, to suggest a book to really read about the problems which plagued India in the 2010s or in the 2020, early 2020, you can definitely go to this as an important reference point which will tell you how things are. Because the point is, what makes something great is its ability to stand the test of time. And in spite of the criticism the book might have faced for its narrative, I strongly recommend that you read, for it is a document which will stand the test of time. And that's it. Thank you.